What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to talk about two firearms that I currently have that I had to send back to the manufacturer to be fixed. We're going to talk about what the problem was, how long they lasted, and also how they've done since. First off is the Taurus GX4, and guys, I was super excited to get this firearm. I love my G3Cs already. The ergonomics looked awesome on it. It just looked like an awesome firearm for a great price. So I went out and bought it immediately the day it dropped, but it was already sold out at my range. They're like, you can have the display model though. And I'm like, how long has it been out? They're like a day or 2 days or whatever it was. And I'm like, okay, fine, but have you ever had issues with selling someone a display, it not functioning properly, someone messed it up, it's already damaged? He's like, no, we've never had the issue. It was almost like foreshadowing. I get home about 15-20 minutes later. I start dry fire practicing. I don't hear anything. The trigger goes, but no striker. And then 15 seconds later, you would hear it. Then you try again, it'd be fine. Then like 2 shots later, you do it. Now 30 seconds in between the time you pull the trigger and the striker being activated. It was like something was blocking it, or just something was not right with the firearm. So I immediately called up Taurus, took a video of the issue, and sent it to him. I also looked up the issue online. Other people were having the same exact issue. I asked Taurus, do you guys know there's a problem with these GX4s? And they're like, oh, we've gotten some calls about them coming back, but nothing too big. It ended up being a pretty big deal, as lots of people were having that issue. But I can give props where props is due. I sent it to Taurus. Within 3 weeks, it was back to me in working order and has ran thousands and thousands of rounds of hollow points and ball ammo without a single hiccup. Steel ammo, literally everything has ran through this thing, and it's been 100% reliable. Now, how long do budget parts last in a firearm before they need to be changed or before your firearm becomes unreliable? I don't know, but Taurus fixed the problem. Love the GX4, and I've gotten a newer one, which I've noticed they are different. They're a little bit different. The trigger is just different. Not the look of them or anything like that, but they must have made the fix in the new trigger, in the new GX4s they're putting out, and have just stuck to that. That's why they feel different. The new trigger is actually a little bit better. Next up, SIG P365. I bought this as an original SIG P365 with the regular grip. This is the X grip. And I was really excited for it. The day I got it, I was like, oh wow, metal sights, pretty ergonomic. I already had the Wilson Combat grip for it. It's got a rail, and then I felt that trigger. I'm like, it's a SIG trigger, so this is an awesome, awesome trigger, right? And I shot it a lot. I made videos comparing it to the Hellcat, the 43X at the range, shooting them back to back, and I really, really liked shooting it. 400 rounds came, sorry guys, and my slide locks back. I can't get it forward anymore. So it was just locked back, not all the way, but it just couldn't slide forward. You jam it. There's a little piece on the FCU that sits up right here, and people are like, oh, that's the issue. And I'm like, it's pressed down, it's fine. So I even took it apart and tried learning the FCU, and I did everything I could and put the whole FCU back together with the person from SIG on the phone, got it back together, put it together, same issue. Racked the slide, it locked back. There was an issue with a sear spring in it. Now that happened after 400 rounds. There was an out of spec spring, something in there that just was causing, if you know the FCU, it's difficult to deal with and put back together, and it's just a mess, but a good design. But it was sticking up and preventing this slide from going forward. Now I'm really glad that I didn't listen to what people said to do on the SIG forums, and they said just hammer that slide forward. I'm like, guys, a firearm, if it's reliable, a good quality firearm, you shouldn't have to be pounding your slide just to get it to go back into battery. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's insane. And on top of that, I know I'm going to break something, and I know I'm going to get charged for it. So I left it as is, took it apart as much as I could, and then sent it to SIG. Let them know what happened. Then I got it back, but ever since, it has hundreds of rounds, not a single issue. Do I trust it completely? Yes, I do, because I feel like they definitely made sure this spring was up to spec. And then I also went online and started looking up issues people were having with their P365, and other people were having that same issue. Now, it wasn't a ton of people as much as a Taurus trigger was having issues, but this firearm was having issues even, up to 2 years ago or whatever it was. But anyways, I like both these firearms. I carry my SIG P365. I don't really carry my GX4. Budget firearms just sketch me out, and that's just personal preference for everyday carry. But on top of that, the SIG is ran, and I know they went over the firearm and made sure it's reliable. So as long as I maintain it, keep it up to date, it should be good to go. Anyways, those are 2 firearms I own that have had issues, had to be sent back, and have been good since.